Welcome to the Four Guys with Quarters Halloween episode. I actually don't know the podcast number this week, but it will be edited in later on. And tonight's topics are going to be the Friday releases that are coming out: Super Mario Odyssey, AC Origins, Wolfenstein 2. We got some Games with Gold talk. We got, Sunset Overdrive needs a publisher for part 2. And AC Dev tweets out a PlayStation Blue case. And we got some weird news of the week and some off topics such as the Xbox One X review consoles going out. And let me welcome everyone to the panel. We have ZPCI Assassin, who is at his 1 billionth appearance. What's up, Assassin?
It's a lot of podcasts.
You're famous, bro.
Sure. Where's my Xbox One X then?
We have with us Zebra Fries, a.k.a. Taylor, who loves bacon-flavored soda. What's up, Taylor?
Stop it. Hi. I'm still too hot. You can't do that to me right now.
And we have Boomstick from Crossfire joining us tonight as our special guest. What's up, Boom?
Hey, what's going on? Thank you guys so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure to have you on, bro. Talking to you on Crossfire, you always got a lot of great things to say, a lot of in-depth views on things, and it's great to always listen to what you got to say.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. I'm a big fan of the show. I'm a big fan of yours, and I really am excited to jump into these topics.
Well, without further ado, one of the first things I want to talk about is the recent stuff that Xbox has done for its fans, the OG Xbox backwards compatibility and the games that they launched with it. I said a long time ago that I always felt like they should do OG Xbox backwards compatibility just to have the option there. Even though I don't think I would ever personally use it that much, I just think it's something to add to the feature, another service they could offer. So I want to get your take on it, what you guys think. So go ahead.
Well, you want me to start it off, brother?
Yep.
Go ahead, Boom.
All right. Well, obviously, I'm like I said, a little older gamer, and I've been gaming for a real long time. Xbox, the OG Xbox, is one of my favorite systems. It had a ton of great titles, and the launch list, considering it's only 13, it's pretty stacked. But the highlights of the list, obviously, right out of the gate, are KOTOR, which is amazing. I mean, it's still probably arguably the best Star Wars story ever put onto a video game in the history of video games. It's a standout RPG, a Western RPG for that matter. And then obviously you have titles like Crimson Sky, which is a cult classic. I actually was playing it just the other day. Looks fantastic, plays fantastic. You have Ninja Gaiden Black, which, come on, I mean, if you've seen the videos that have been up about it, it looks like a current gen game. Okay, I mean, maybe it's not 2017, but the game still looks fantastic. And then there are other ones, like for instance, Black. I can guarantee there are a lot of people who didn't play that first person shooter, and it was amazing. So to have this option, again, I understand there's some people that are like, well, I'm probably never going to use it, but you know what? You don't say no to options. And I think they're reasonably priced at $10. If you don't have the original disc, you can buy them for $10 on live. I think that's a good price.
Yep, definitely a good price. Hopefully, I mean, I haven't personally bought any of the titles because I'm, saving up for the X and whatnot. But from what we've seen, at least I've seen on like YouTube videos, like with the, these games came out so many years and have them sort of like upgraded, because on their new machines is actually quite fascinating and might make me buy some of these games,
Well, yeah, it's certainly interesting because if you remember back in the days, they were probably running at 480p. Yeah. They were also running at the 4:3 ratio, and now they're 16:9. They're up-resed, and they absolutely look fantastic.
Oh yeah.
No achievements, which I kind of wish they would have thrown in there, but still, all the same, it's good to be able to play some of these games. What I'm hoping for more than anything is, again, this has been a running joke almost the entire generation of the Xbox One, is the lack of first-party exclusives. and there were a few gems in there that you'd love to see come back for the Xbox One platform. And Crimson Sky could be one of those titles. You know, I know Phil Spencer's a big fan of it. He knows that it has a huge cult following. That's a game that you can logistically throw a couple of $1 million at, put a team on, and have that come out as like a $20 title on the storefront, digitally only, and you'd make your money back probably tenfold over.
Yep, or they could just do what they did. What was that game that they released not too long ago that sucked ass?
Voodoo Vince?
That was free.
Oh yeah.
You're
talking about Phantom Dust?
Yeah, that crap game.
Yeah, that was. You know what? It had to be free because it really was. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people that like the game. I'm not, crapping on it. I was never a fan of it back then. I tried it. It's free. I downloaded it, but it's one of those games that I don't think that, should have come back. And you know what? To be honest, I'm not angry at Microsoft for canceling the remake of it, to be honest with you, because I don't think it would have sold well.
Yeah.
What do you got? I mean, Taylor, I wanted to get your take on it as well. Do you think that you're going to get any use out of this?
Honestly, not as far as what's come out so far. Not really. I didn't start playing video games really until the 360 was out, and I want to say for maybe 2 or 3 years. So I didn't really play Xbox or any gaming really, except for probably the Nintendo 64 before that.
Okay.
So I didn't play a whole lot of OG Xbox games. I'll look into them. I mean, like you said, it is nice to have the option to have some more games out there. I'll look into some of them. And if anything seems interesting, I'll probably get it because, I mean, $10 is a pretty good deal for a game.
Yeah, in some cities, $10 gets you a cup of coffee and a slice of bread, so that wouldn't be such a bad deal.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. Seeing that Psychonauts is backwards, OG backwards compatible, I was actually thinking about picking that one up because that has a lot of great reviews from the past, and I never experienced it on the OG Xbox. Even though I could have, I didn't back then.
You know what? I think that's going to be the running thing for the back compat with the OG Xbox, is that there's going to be a lot of titles that are there that people just never played, and through YouTube videos of people putting it out there, you may see something like, for instance, like Knights of the Old Republic. That is an amazing, at least a 50. I mean, you could put logistically 50, 60, 70 hours into that game, and for $10. And it looks fantastic, by the way. So it would be, again, if you're a Star Wars fan, you're a BioWare fan. Now, obviously, it does have some older type movement in the in the controls, but if the game is good, you kind of look past that.
Yeah. What games do you think we'll see in the future? Do you think?
Well, I think that anything that's first party is pretty much a given. I was actually slightly disappointed that we didn't see MechAssault right out of the gate. That's one of my favorite OG Xbox games, but I mean, they have a ton. I think all first party stuff, you wouldn't surprise me in the least for it to be like, I don't expect to see Halo, for instance. I mean, it's available in the Master Chief Collection, so you wouldn't. Plus, we have the HD anniversary. That one, I don't think they would port. But there, anything that was first party, and there were a ton of them. I could imagine, because I know that there's a lot of issues with the licensing, with music, and some companies aren't even around anymore. So, they already said it's not going to be a big list like the Xbox 360, and that's fine. Again, it is, when you think about it, technically, it is amazing that we're playing original Xbox games that are 15 years old on your current hardware. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one benefit that Xbox has going for it right now, is that they plan on making the titles last throughout the generations of the platform of Xbox in general. So I think that's kind of amazing to look at it now and be like, wow, I can play everything, back all the way to the original Xbox. I do hope we see some more stuff though, like from Ubisoft, like the Rainbow Sixes. I was a huge Rainbow Six fan.
I'd love to see Splinter Cell, the original one. My God, that's still one of my favorite ones.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that on the user voice forum. So hopefully it does come back on there. But speaking of games that are being remade and remastered and redone, how about the Super Mario Odyssey, man?
Dude, like tomorrow can't come quick enough.
Want it so bad.
Yeah.
At this point, it's a Switch or an X.
Oh
yeah,
wow,
that's hard. That's when it's a tough choice like that, it's wherever your friends are and whatever you're going to put more time into, I would suppose.
Yeah, by the end of the year, I need to have a Switch. That's my goal.
Yeah, I've had it since the day one, and I love it. I'm one of those people, rah people that said that this was gonna be lightning in the bottle for Nintendo Part 2. I called it even before I bought it. And everyone, you had plenty of people, a lot of these, these YouTubers, it's going to fail. No one's going to buy it. That thing has been winning NPDs like it's going out of style. And now you add Mario to it. Look, I mean, you were talking about you played, N64. They reinvented the wheel with 3D Mario when that came out. And I think they reinvented the wheel with Odyssey. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. It looks like there's so much to do. You're going to be playing that game until next year.
Absolutely. I mean, Mario 64, I think, is actually the first game that I ever played.
Wow.
So, yeah, no, I'm young.
No, it's okay. Listen, you got to start somewhere.
I think Assassin's in the same boat as you, Taylor, as far as Mario.
Super Mario 64 was my first game ever.
Listen, that's awesome. You know what? That's a great memory. My first, my God, I'm showing my age. My first one was the Atari 2600.
I know.
And I've had every system since.
Lord Kabatsu in the chat is getting Super Mario Odyssey. He's getting it digital, so his preload is already ready.
Midnight. That's fantastic. That's smart. That's super smart.
Yeah. If there's any games you're going to have digital on the Switch, that's one that's probably worth to have digital on the Switch. You know what I mean?
For sure. You'll never get rid of that. Never. But think about this for a second. Just think about this. Delayed or not, in 2017, we could say, and I say we because not everyone has a Switch, but still we're all gamers, so we all fall under the umbrella. We can honestly say that Nintendo put out a Zelda and a Mario game in the same freaking calendar year. I mean, I said it in a tweet earlier. Right now, Zelda's a 10. I mean, I put 120 hours into that game. I beat it twice. And I still didn't find everything, by the way. Absolutely loved that game. I actually think Mario could possibly be an 11.
Boom, I was thinking about this, right? And this is just my take on it, right? So I love Mario growing up as a kid. I grew up with Mario, even on the Atari and Donkey Kong. So I just love Mario, and I loved him in the 8-bit era, and I loved him in the 16-bit era, and I love those old platformers. But Super Mario 64, I really couldn't get into, and the ones on the Wii and the Wii U, like the 3D versions, I really couldn't get into. And I'm kind of worried about this one. Like, I want to love it because I love Mario, but I know some people are going to correct me. Mario, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Mario. Yeah, I can hear a mooch speaking right now in my ear.
It's like cross Pennsylvania with a little bit of New Jersey with a little bit of New York all mixed in, so I just slur the words together. But I'm excited for it, but I just don't know if I'm really gonna feel the same nostalgia on it. And are all these reviews great just because everybody loves, this nostalgia factor? What do you think?
No, I don't know, man. I listen. It's been a long time coming. We haven't had a proper Mario game on since Odyssey. Since the one on the Wii with the
Galaxy.
Galaxy. Yes, thank you. And that was those games were again reinventing the wheel with Mario. They were fantastic. They looked gorgeous. They played real well. And then obviously you had 3D World, which I thought was magnificent. This just looks like another home run, and I don't think it's just nostalgia. I really think that Nintendo really outdid themselves with this new game.
I mean, I was a huge fan of the Galaxy ones. I think I beat both of them twice.
Wow.
And I did, especially the first one. I played the first one a lot. That was one of my absolute favorites. I think I beat it as Mario twice and Luigi once.
Wow.
That's how much I played that game.
Yeah, that's putting in some work.
That's dedication.
It was a lot of dedication, but I absolutely love that game. So the Odyssey, I'm super excited for. I've honestly debated putting off getting an X or a Switch so I can get Odyssey, and also Breath of the Wild.
You know what? Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. Obviously, you'd love to have both, but if you're a big Nintendo fan, you know they have the Mario system, right?
Right.
And it comes with the special edition controller and the case. You get that, and you go out and you buy Zelda Breath of the Wild. You're good until 2018, somewhere deep into the year.
I know, but my thought process is I'll get the X because Reezy is kind enough to let me use the trade-in for his Xbox One S.
Nice.
And he's going to use his original Xbox and his 360 for his.
Okay.
So I can get the trade-in value for the S for the X, and then wait until Black Friday, and then I'll go get a Switch.
Listen, you got a plan. That's a good plan.
I have this set up. I have $700 in my savings right now.
Nice. That is an excellent plan. Because on Black Friday, you're probably going to get the better bundles out there for the Switch.
Exactly.
Very smart.
I'll be at GameStop on Thanksgiving. I don't care.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they offered the Mario bundle and they added like a Zelda or like a Splatoon in
absolutely.
there. There's no doubt about it. They'd be looking, and you know what? That would be a phenomenal deal.
Mm-hmm. And then I have my original Wii that I can trade in, which is only going to give me like $20 or something.
Listen,
not even.
You know what?
My sister would let me trade in the Wii U. That would give me some more money.
When my brother and I were kids and the PlayStation first came out, I actually imported the original PlayStation. I had it months before the States got it. And my brother, when the PlayStation finally launched here, back in the days they had what was called Funkoland. You guys are probably too young to remember that, but GameStop. He traded. When I tell you, he was trading in wires. I mean, literally anything he can get his hands in that they would take to be able to get the system. So if you gotta get $20 for a Wii, it's still $20.
Absolutely. The original Wii, I'm trading that in. I will absolutely trade that in. I'm pulling all of the Wii games that we have hardly ever played, and I'm trading those in.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I don't care if it gives me $3. I will trade those in. That's $3 I don't have to pay.
Yeah. Well, listen, $3 times 10 games you trade in, that's $30 plus the Wii. That's $50. So there you go. You start adding up.
It's my plan.
Speaking of saving up, Taylor, I know you and Assassin are both huge fans of this, but anyone gonna grab Assassin's Creed Origins?
I already have it downloaded on my console.
Yep, mine is downloaded. I'm just waiting for midnight. I'm probably gonna, I hate playing at midnight because you don't really put a good effort in. I may just turn it on to try it, but I was actually was going to attempt to hold out with that and Wolfenstein for the X, and kind of just use Mario and not as a crutch per se, but use it as a distraction.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. Like, I have, with all the trade-ins that GameStop has done recently, I have my Super Mario Odyssey already paid off because I took advantage of all those trade-in bonuses.
Yep, that's what you got to do.
Absolutely.
And with all those trade-in bonuses, I was able to grab AC Origins and Wolfenstein 2 as well.
Nice.
So I have a dilemma tomorrow. Like, do I
what do you
start
play first?
Yeah, what do I play first? But
it's Christmas for gamers.
Yes, it absolutely is. I mean, tomorrow is an amazing, and on top of that, here's the cherry on top of the icing on the cake. Stranger Things 2 tomorrow.
Jeez.
So
Oh,
it
wow.
is. If you're a movie fan or you TV fan, video game fan, it is literally Christmas has come early.
The only reason I haven't watched Stranger Things is because I don't have the time to get invested into another series. I have too many games to play.
Yeah,
It's too
you know
much.
what? I think it was only 8 episodes, so it wasn't long. It wasn't too long. My
Aren't they
wife
hour
and
long?
we binge watched last weekend because we had seen it when it first came out, but we forgot some things. So it was her idea. She's like, "Hey, listen, should we start and maybe watch that?" And yeah, we started it, and the next thing you know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
That sounds like me.
You know what?
I've done that too many times.
Speaking of binging, Assassin's Creed is like, man, that game looks so big and so open. And I love open world games, and I'm afraid that I'm going to get stuck on that game and forget about the other two and just binge play that thing until I finish it.
Well, if you have any
I'm
OCD
100%
issues, then you're going to be stuck there.
Assassin,
Yeah.
Mr. Collectibles.
Yeah. Well, unlike you guys, I will be waiting for the X
Wow.
to play.
You have willpower.
I just started Dying Light over again, so I have something that will.
You got
hold
something to
me
play
off.
at least. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's fantastic. I never beat that, man. That was such a great game.
Yeah, it's very good.
Wow. You know, I haven't even finished the DLC for that game.
Me either.
You know, a little known fact that most of our watchers don't know, but we actually got to play Dying Light with the devs.
Oh, that's amazing, dude. You're kidding me.
No, we had a review copy, and we got to play with the devs before release.
That's awesome.
And I discovered a bug in the ceiling, and I asked them about it. that was the highlight of my moment.
Oh, that you saw something that they didn't listen. That's freaking awesome, dude. That's such a story.
Yeah, at the time he said it was going to be patched. I guess they knew about it, but they were surprised that I got into the glitch because it's not very common for somebody who's just playing through to get into it. That's what he told me.
Okay, that's cool.
And then, without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into the next topic, guys. Wolfenstein 2. Who's excited for this?
Oh man, huge. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys played the first two, but they were amazing games. And this one just, if you see the commercials on the TV, I mean, I'm we're all gamers, so we're not really moved by commercials. Like, oh, that looks good, I have to get it, like a drone. But my God, that game looks so good.
Oh yeah, looks way better than the first game, and I guess you could say second prequel game, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Looks fantastic.
Did you see the special edition? I'm sorry I didn't get it. I mean, what I'll do is hopefully I'll get wait for Black Friday and it'll be like half off or something. It actually comes with a 12-inch like G.I. Joe type doll of the character. It looks fantastic.
Really, I have to check that out.
I wasn't a big fan of the other Wolfensteins. I liked the ones on the PC way back in the day that looked terrible, but
Those are in the Old Blood?
I think so, because you told me if you go through like certain ways or something on the level, you can get to them. Yeah. I think that's what you told me. Yeah, but the other ones, I'd play them, and the graphics were amazing. I thought everything was great, and then I would get lost. Like, I didn't know where to go, even though it's very linear, and I just couldn't figure it out. And I'm like, Assassin, what do I do? Assassin's like, look at the map. I'm like, how do I read this map? He's like, it's a map. I just like, can you do it for me? He's like, no.
Oh.
So with this one, man, like, I'm really excited because it's got a lot of hype behind it. The marketing was fantastic for this game. I got to respect that. And it does look like a lot of fun. From the reviews that I've seen so far, the people posting like pictures, snapshots or whatever of the game, it looks so good, man. It looks really good.
I wonder how many people tomorrow when they first play it and they seen the the swastikas and all the other Nazi stuff, how many people are just going to be triggered?
No, I don't know. I mean, I kind of think you know what you're getting into. You know, again, this isn't. I mean, it's not technically a new IP. I mean, obviously, you want to talk about offensive. Now, I know this is probably not part of the topic. So I'm playing South Park. But my good, you know what?
Yes.
That game is just absolutely a freaking masterpiece.
But you know what though? The way they do it with pop culture humor
Yes.
it's crazy. Like they get away with it, right? You know what? What I didn't understand, and while we're on this topic of offensive gaming lately, is that okay? Everybody in game journalism made clickbait about the orcs and the slavery, right?
Yes, which is absolutely ridiculous, by the way.
Yep. And when it comes to South Park, not one word from any of those guys about South Park. Not one word about how a South Park could be viewed this way, a South Park could be viewed that way. Not one word. Everybody's like, oh, it's a fantastic game. But when we go back to Shadow of War, oh man, the orcs upset everybody.
Yeah, I just think that it's been slow with the news, and they just kind of look. These guys are trying. Again, you said it, clickbait. All they want is people to come read their stupid articles that are about nonsense, just to get the clicks. So they're people that pay their advertising for their site, they get paid. That's really at the end of the day, because there really isn't any slavery based commentary like you're beating people or even, I mean, again, I honestly thinking that because you're taking over the orcs that you consider that slavery is just, I think it's opening a can of worms that really did need to be open. And to me, yes, slavery is horrendous, and it was a horrible part of the history of this country that that you wish never happened. But to bring up that in something that is fictional, like orcs, I mean, that's really a stretch in my opinion.
It's a far stretch, boom, because everything in fictional pop culture has some type of struggle. You look at Star Wars, right? The droids themselves, they were enslaved to humans.
Yes.
Then the rebels were enslaved to the Siths for a while until they rebelled. Then the clone troopers. I mean, where's the moral argument there?
I know. You know what it is? I just think that they pick what's the hot topic and they just go for it for clicks. You're 100% right.
Yeah, it's just so sad, man, because it could potentially ruin a great game like Shadow of War. And at first I was down on Shadow of War. I wasn't going to get it. I thought it didn't look great, and then I played it and I loved the game.
Yeah, I put about 40 hours into it and I stopped because I kind of really want to wait for the X.
Yep.
And I got really addicted to playing The Evil Within 2, which is a masterpiece.
Yep. And that's one game that Assassin and I have not played yet. So real quick, Boom, while we are talking about recent games, how do you feel about that game?
I beat it. I'm on my second playthrough. I'm ready to beat it again. It is. If you like, I put it to this way: the best way to describe this game is it's a combination of Resident Evil 4 meets Silent Hill 2. It has the first one moved real slow. And there was the horror and the grossness of the horror was, I think, over the top unnecessary for some things. Where you'd be trying to do a puzzle and pieces are flying all over the place. It's funny because it's silly, but it just was over the top, unnecessarily gross. Whereas this game plays very much like Resident Evil 4. The weapon upgrade system, it has kind of like an RPG hook to it, because you're trying to get all this green goo to upgrade your health and your stealth and everything. And it has that Silent Hill 2 feel where you're kind of going around the town and you're trying to find your missing daughter. It is absolutely beautiful to look at, and it fits right in with the month of Halloween. I like I said, there's a lot of games coming out, and if it's not on your radar yet, it should be on your radar for $30, because that's what eventually it's going to. All these games drop. Within especially by Black Friday, this game would be $30. And I encourage anyone that likes survival horror games like Resident Evil and Silent Hill to pick this up.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for the price drop on that. I was gonna get it at 60, because I think it deserves. It does deserve it. I think it deserves it because they're really pushing it. They want the series to continue and whatnot, and I like that. I appreciate that in a company, and I'm thinking about picking it up, and I'm thinking about picking up the first one as well for like the $15.
Yeah, it's super cheap now. I mean, I'm probably going to go back and try and play the first one. I'm like only put like 4 or 5 hours into it, but beating 2 got me to want to play 1.
And speaking of wanting to play new games, boom, this is a perfect segue for that. Wanting new games, right? We all want new games.
Yes.
Sunset Overdrive 2 needs a publisher. Insomniac wants to make it. What do you guys think?
Needs to happen by Microsoft, I should say.
Taylor, any thoughts?
I didn't really play the first one, so
You're missing.
I know.
It is.
I know.
It was a game was games with gold. What about maybe 6 months ago? I would say.
Yeah.
Yep, and then I forgot that it was games with gold, and then I never got it.
Well, look around Black Friday. You probably have to like.
Yeah, I'll probably get it Black Friday.
You know what would be good. You might wait for like Microsoft's end of the year sale, where they literally kind of give the farm away for nothing. That game will be $5. $6-7, something like that. That game is it again. I don't want to overly use the word masterpiece, but that is, here's the thing. Microsoft, they do things that just make the fan like myself. I have almost 700 games for the Xbox, between the Xbox One, 360, and now obviously with the back compat stuff. And this is one of those games that when it launched, there were only 10 million systems in the wild. So it launched to a very small market. And even though it was, they did have a Sunset Overdrive bundle. They had the white Xbox One. The marketing wasn't as, as good as it could have been, which is, in my opinion, Microsoft's Achilles heel is their marketing department is really just very questionable moves. Even like right now, I mean, I've only seen a handful of Xbox One X commercials. We probably should have been seeing this 3 months ago. Right. But that's just me.
Real quick, Boom, you missed the hot air balloon for Super Lucky's Tail?
Yeah, you know what? I missed that one. I mean,
did that get a world record?
not over here on the East Coast. We couldn't see it.
I don't know. It's just
it was like the highest live stream ever or something, and I don't know. It was kind of stupid, but
yeah, not something to hang your hat on. But in regards to Sunset Overdrive 2, listen, all I can tell you is this: a lot of people don't know this, but Microsoft had a deal with Insomniac for multiple games. Now they let the deal expire. Why? Well, I mean, the sales numbers for Sunset Overdrive, they weren't like, happy inducing, 10 million copies sold. But, there are some games out there that sold poorly that got a second chance. And then obviously they were tremendous hits. And I bring up the Uncharted game that did not sell very well. It reviewed okay, and Uncharted 2 came out for the PS3, and it was amazing. Still to this day, it's one of my favorite PlayStation 3 games of all time. I think the same thing could be said for Sunset Overdrive with the additive of multiplayer. If you add 4-player co-op to a game that size, and you double the size of the island that they could be on, that would be amazing. You can do some sort of PvP, 4v4. You could do online 4-player campaign co-op. That's what the people really wanted, and maybe that's why it didn't sell well. But it's such a great franchise, and I think they really threw the ball in Microsoft's court by sending out that tweet. We just need a publisher.
Imagine if Sony grabbed it though.
You know what? That actually, they said that on Xbox Nation last night. As a matter of fact, it would be like Sony to kind of go just to stick it to Microsoft. I mean, they obviously know the sales numbers, but I can see them, sign. I mean, look, Insomniac are already doing Spider-Man, so they have a relationship with them. All they have to do is go to Ted Price and say, hey, you're doing Spider-Man, we could get the Sunset Overdrive thing done. And could you imagine if Sunset Overdrive 2 is now a PlayStation 4 exclusive? I mean, it just would be another. Listen, the face can only have so many black eyes, and right now Microsoft has about 30 of them.
What would be even sadder is that if it was a huge hit on the PlayStation.
Yes, it would be ridiculous. And you look back and you say, for a system that has a stigmatism of having no games, which we know is untrue, but it's still out there, especially in the first-party system exclusive realm, this is an opportunity to get this out there. Again, you bring up Sunset Overdrive. I'd like to bring up right along with that, Son of Rome. First of all, I'm not sure if you've played it or if you've seen it recently. The game is gorgeous. And you know what? It was super fun to play. That's another mature, serious-looking game that's lacking from the portfolio of Microsoft.
Yeah, but Crytek has huge problems. I mean, that's probably the only reason why we don't see one.
We got some comments in the chat. Sobsy says if Sony gets Sunset 2, Microsoft's 100% to blame.
Yes, 100%.
But at least if Sony publishes it, it will happen. I mean, that it's sad to say, but that's the point, right? Yeah. If Microsoft drops the ball on this one, I still want to see a sequel. Hate to say, even if it's multi-platform, I'd still love to play a sequel. And hopefully Microsoft picks up the ball on this one, and they
drop it.
Yeah, they don't drop this one. This would be a big shame to them.
It would be embarrassing. It would actually be one of those moments that you look back and you say to yourself, "Wow, you really kind of effed up here." For no doubt about it. I mean, again, this could, because they have the assets. They have the story. This isn't trying to get an unknown franchise off the ground. This does have a cult following. It did sell, I'm sure, a few million copies. You could do this, and I don't think Microsoft is going to. I think it's going to be a third-party person to jump in there, and then it will be multiplat. And you know what? At this point, I don't care. Like you said, I agree with you. I don't care if it's multiplat. I just want a Sunset 2.
Yeah, but if it goes multiplat, do you think we'll have another Titanfall 2 fiasco on our hands where, the first game was, good and the second one comes out and no one buys it even though it's great?
You know what? Look, I can tell you this right now. I absolutely adore the Titanfall series. I probably put over 1,000 hours into the first one. I'm probably close to that in 2, which I thought was magnificent. They fixed the issue that we all had with the single player. The campaign was fantastic. Sadly, I don't know if we're going to get a 3, which would be terrible. But I would hope that if they did do a Sunset Overdrive 2, it would not fall in line with a disaster like that. Because, again, I'm not trying to sound like I'm a Sony hater. I have all the systems and I support them all. For Sony, I just play their first party stuff. I think that this is an opportunity for Microsoft to kind of start filling out their portfolio that has gaping holes in it. And this would be a good way to start it.
Yeah, and in this situation, as with Titanfall 2, Titanfall 2 is more like, it felt more like a backlash from the community, because it felt like, a lot of people thought Microsoft had the marketing rights. Why would the devs post, the other disc out there? And I think that caused a backlash in the community. I think with Sunset Overdrive 2, the difference in this situation would be that it would be Microsoft's fault if the ball was dropped.
Yes, 100%.
So Microsoft fans or Xbox fans, if they own a PlayStation, they would still play it on PlayStation if they couldn't get it on the Xbox, just because the series, the first one was pretty good.
Yeah.
And speaking of fiascos, man, with these discs and marketing rights and all that marketing stuff going on, the Assassin's Creed Origins dev on Twitter, I forget his name, but he posted a picture of his Assassin's Creed Origins game in a blue case, PlayStation, of course. Proudly completed the game. He posted it out there, and he got a bunch of backlash because the assumption is that Microsoft has the marketing rights to the game, and the community is mixed. Some people in the community feel like he did a disservice to Microsoft with the marketing rights, and there's other people that feel like he's just a dev, is a single guy out there happy about his game, posts it, and the internet goes crazy. What do you guys think?
I think the internet just needs to calm down a little bit.
I agree 100%.
It's his game. If he wants to play it on a different console than what the marketing rights have, who cares? It's his game. He worked on it.
Yep.
He's happy that he played it. He's happy that he beat it. Good for him. It's his game. He can play it wherever he wants.
Didn't he actually say, though, like he doesn't even own an Xbox? Like, I think he says he only owns a PlayStation.
Yeah,
so, I mean, what is he supposed to do?
Just show an Xbox case, I guess. I don't know. At this point, I don't know.
I mean, the only thing that I have to say with this, I'm sorry to cut you off, Taylor.
You're good.
The only thing that I want to say about this is, here's the thing. For instance, with the Sony deals, Call of Duty, the Destiny 2, you don't see, even go back as far as, I don't know, 2 years ago, you never see anyone from Microsoft doing, something like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, I thought that, like when you have these marketing deals, and again, I don't know, I'm just a game player like you, so I don't know the ins and outs of video game business. But I would think that when a contract is signed by a company who is going to be doing a particular title for a big name company, whether it be Microsoft, whether it be Nintendo, whether it be Sony, I would think that if you were like in a position to make, the rules, so to speak, it would be in letterhead format to say, listen, don't go, especially, I mean, we're gonna go back to the Titanfall thing. Do you remember when the guy with the showed the blue disc and, oh yeah, we're so excited, and everyone from Xbox melted down like, I can't believe it, we made you what you are, which was ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
But Microsoft did not have a multi-million-dollar deal with Respawn. Whereas they have a multi-million-dollar deal with Assassin's Creed, they have the same multi-million-dollar deal with I think it's Monolith Studios that did Shadow of War. I don't know. I just think it looks bad on the company. I'm not saying that the guy did anything wrong. I'm not saying the guy should be fired or anything ridiculous like that, because you see some quotes on the internet that like the guy should be fired and never work again. I mean, come on, people. That's ridiculous. But I just think that it is in bad taste, especially when you're the Ubisoft people dealing with like the Phil Spencer's. Like, hey, listen, yeah, Phil, sorry about that. He worked on the game. He was excited. I'm just saying you don't see anyone else doing stuff like that in Sony land. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just. Again, I don't think he should be. He's not a criminal, and he shouldn't be fired. I just think that it's in bad taste.
I was looking at the situation, and I'm very open-minded. So I try to look at it from every which side possible and come to my own conclusion. So the first way that I looked at it as like, he's a personal account. He's a personal guy. He's a dev. That's what he does during the day. At night, he goes home to his family or whatever he does in his own time. And they gave him a game for the system that he owns, because he only owns PlayStation, he said. And that's at least what he said. That's what we know. And maybe he was proud. He just took a quick picture to show, he only had like 400 followers, I think Dad said. So maybe he just wanted to show, the people that he's friends with in the industry, hey, I finally got my copy. I'm happy. I had fun working on this game. It's been, a long 4 years or whatever. So that was the way one side I looked at it. Then the other side I looked at it was, if I was a corporation and I was Microsoft and I was somebody who made a multi-million-dollar marketing deal, and I expected them to, help promote my brand a little bit, I think as a company, I would feel a little bit salty. Like, hey, there's this game that we spent millions marketing or whatever the deal is. And the dev, even though it's on his personal account, goes home and he posts it on the competitor system. Now, is it like going to hurt my sales tremendously? Probably not. But it's more of like a bad tasting, like you said, Boom. And I try to put it in many other ways and looking at it like, if I'm in the insurance industry and I work for an insurance company and I have an agreement with I'm a car insurance company, I have an agreement with a homeowner's insurance company to sell their homeowner's insurance, and I go home at the end of the day and I can't get it rate with that homeowner's insurance company, so I post a picture of a better rate I got with another homeowner's insurance company. That's kind of like a bad taste.
You would be fired.
Yeah, you would be, because you can't promote a competitor's product. And the gaming industry is very liberal and very different in that aspect. But if it was any other company, like you just said, be fired.
Any company, it doesn't matter whether it's McDonald's or to health insurance. If you went out, even though it's your account, like I say, you went on Facebook and you work for Allstate and you say, you know what, I have Geico and I think they're better. If that got to corporate, you would come back and wherever you were sitting would be like tape, and and your box with your plant in it would be waiting for you to come collect.
Yep. No, you're absolutely correct. Because in a lot of employment contracts, there are clauses like that specify that you cannot publicly promote another company like that on social media, because they can watch your social media accounts. They fire people for that all the time. So I was kind of conflicted. I see it from both sides. And then I look at Microsoft and Xbox, and they're just kumbaya.
Yep, that's it. The unity candle is lit.
on everything. So if I become, Microsoft doesn't care basically about anything. They just don't care. Boom. So should we care?
No, we shouldn't.
We shouldn't, but you know what? It'd be hard for us to walk away. If they're making money, we're fans. We want the new system. We want their system. I've been a Microsoft supporter since the first, since OG Xbox, and even though they do some dumb things, I don't know. I mean, they're already losing this generation. You understand? They're losing 2-1. Now, is that going to change with the X? It's possible. As long as we see some first-party games. Listen, I know that there's this whole big, thing on the so-called internet about a game is not considered a system exclusive because you can get it on Steam. Listen, if I can't play the game on the PS4 or the Switch, it's a system exclusive. That's the end of the story. Now, I know that we've talked on Crossfire multiple times, especially Mooch is not a fan of the Play Anywhere thing, and I kind of agree. I kind of agree with him. I think I really wish they went back to the old way, where if you want to play a Gears of War game or a Halo game or a Forza game, you're gonna have to buy an Xbox. I kind of wish they went back to that. They won't, because that they're investing heavy into the Windows platform and Steam and everything. But I don't know. I don't know why we continue to take it, and why do we care as much if Microsoft doesn't? That's the real question.
Yep. It's just, it's just the mentality. I can't. I don't even have words anymore. Especially this is a little salty for me, guys. Hits me in the heart a little bit. And it's not because I didn't get a free Xbox One X console, or anybody in 4GwQPodcast didn't get a free Xbox One X console. But I have seen many influencers and YouTubers get the Xbox One X console. Guys that didn't appreciate any past Xbox products at all, not even any good ratings the last generation, get the Xbox One X console with a crap ton of games. And guys, when I say a crap ton of games, they got like Zoo Tycoon with all the animals, Disney's Pixar Rush, Disneyland.
It's about 13 games, dude. It's the amount is just unbelievable.
And they get a free month of Netflix, 3 months of Xbox Live Gold, 3 months of Xbox Game Pass, a month of Spotify, a month of EA Access, on top of everything else. And half of these influencers and YouTubers, right, are going to get review copies from the publishers anyway. So Microsoft just stuck their hand in their pocket and said, hey, let's waste some money on people that don't even care about us and hand it out there for the better good of, because we didn't really market the Xbox One X, so we'll just let the influencers talk about it. But they're not going to review our codes because the publishers already gave them their codes. So we're just going to waste it anyway, guys. Yeah. You know, I mean, there's so many diehard fans ordered Project Scorpio for $500, pre-ordered it. We're just going to give them a month of Xbox Game Pass.
I'm gonna make everyone on the panel sick, and I apologize for that. It's 20 games, 20. Okay. They got a month. They got 3 months of Xbox Live Gold, 3 months of Xbox Game Pass, a month of Netflix, a month of Spotify, a month of EA Access, and a free Dolby Atmos download code. And here are the games: Call of Duty World War II, Halo 3, Zoo Tycoon, ReCore Definitive Edition, Shadow of War, Madden 18, Killer Instinct, the whole series, Forza 7, Halo 5, Halo Wars 2, Minecraft, Disney Rush, Quantum Break, Origins, Destiny 2, FIFA 18, Battlefront 2, Super Lucky's Tales, Disney Adventures, and Gears of War 4. Are you freaking kidding me? Do you think a guy like Angry Joe, who has nothing, the only positive review he recently just did was for Cuphead? Like I mean, really, what could you say about Cuphead? It's a 10 in my opinion, even though it's hard as heck, but it's still a 10. People who have beaten the Xbox brand into submission are treated to 20 games. The Scorpio Edition system that some of us have yet to even put the money together to get, and all of those extra stuff. Again, the Unity candle. Listen, I'm sorry, pardon my French, what I'm about to say. I don't care if Microsoft thinks by kissing these people's asses that's going to get them positive reviews. These guys are laughing themselves all the way to the bank with this, and this is like a prize package that a gamer's dream.
Yep. I mean, it really is, and a lot of these guys, you know, on top of that, boom, it's just wasted codes because, like we've talked about before, is that a lot of these guys are probably going to get, you know, review codes anyway from the publishers or the devs themselves, and it's just ridiculous that Microsoft couldn't spare something more than a 1 month Game Pass code for all of us who pre-ordered Project Scorpio or the Xbox One X as soon as pre-orders went live. I mean, a lot of us fans went and did that despite the media telling us that, you know...
Why we don't need an Xbox One X. Why do you want it? Exactly.
Yep, and then they cause the confusion between the S and the X. They try to cause confusion. They promoted the Pro consistently, and these are the guys that Xbox is rewarding with all this stuff. These are the guys that are getting rewarded. So what Microsoft and Xbox is telling us fans is, if you send mixed messages out there and you get a lot of clicks, it don't matter. We're just going to send it to you. Yeah. You can take your Kinect and smash it on the wall. You can drop your Project Scorpio from a parachute. If you get 1 billion views, even if you trash our products, we're gonna, send you a whole bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. It just kind of hurts because there was really not a lot of marketing for the X. Everybody kept saying, "Where's the marketing? Where's the marketing? Where's the marketing? Where's the first party? Where's the first party? Where's the first party?" And recently, the only things that we see now are hot air balloon, Cuphead competition, and the Xbox One X consoles with the 20 games and all this stuff. So
Well, there
apparently
was that commercial that aired on The Walking Dead.
Oh, and then that too, yes. Very close to launch. Very, very close to launch. But
Yep.
yes. So this is where their money went, boom. I mean,
I'm just, like I said, I you know, again, there are plenty of Xbox influencers that we know personally, like Rand, for instance. How that dude does not have a preview Xbox One X is shocking to me. You know, a guy like, you know, Crap Gamer, like him, love him, somewhere in the middle. The guy has tons of followers, and he is so pro Xbox. I mean, yeah, he gives them the business when they deserve it. I think we all do, and I think as fans, that's what separates us from the fanboys for either side. You know, so you know, it goes both ways. You know, Sony can't do no wrong, and we jump on them. Well, Xbox has plenty of fanboys as well, and they. No matter what Microsoft does, it's don't worry about it. They're great. They're the best. Phil's the best. Unity Candle. Crap Gamer, pro Xbox buys everything. The guy puts out 5-6 videos a week, probably more than that. The guy's on 4-5 shows. You don't give that guy an Xbox One X to preview, to unbox, to show the world, but you're going to give it to all these other guys? I don't know. Like I said, it's just sometimes Microsoft does things, and it really makes you wonder, what direction they're going in.
It's because if you talk too good about Xbox or Microsoft, and you promote them, and you talk great about them, and you're happy with everything they do, they don't want to reward you.
I'm an Xbox ambassador. I'm pro Xbox. I go out there. I tweet at Phil. I mean, I went on this gigantic campaign. I'm sure you saw it the other day for the whole Sunset Overdrive thing. I got tons of retweets, tons of likes, tons of quotes. No one's knocking on my door to give me an X.
Yep.
My gamer score is near 240,000. I have 700 games. Again, Crossfire, Coffee, Casuals, and Consoles I'm on. We're always pro Xbox. No emails from anybody. Phil didn't contact me.
Lord Kabatsu in the chat says, Xbox wants to prove the naysayers wrong. And I can see that with the Xbox One X console, right? Let's just show the power, give them a few games. But, man, that is a lot of games to prove them wrong with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see like Halo 5, maybe Halo Wars 2, some of those other games.
Assassin's Creed Origins, I see they would give that.
That's a big one, obviously, because they have a marketing deal. So that's Taylor. That's a good point. That's an excellent one.
Giving those, and even throwing Halo 3 in there, because Halo 3 is a freaking amazing game.
Yes.
Those 4 games, that would have been fine. We'll probably should have do more than just not Halo.
And here's the thing that makes me sad, guys, is that for us that paid the $500, okay, I understand that we're sticking our neck out a little bit, promote a new reiteration of a console, helping it, get out there, recouping their money to say, but not even one game, not even like a Halo 5 code, not even like a Forza Horizon 3, nothing.
Well, how many times on Crossfire haven't I brought that up? I said minimum, there should have been at least a Halo 5, a Forza Motorsport 6, or Horizon 3, and or another title. And what we were talking about off the air, all first 2 months, first 3-month adopters should have at least gotten Lucky's Tale for free, packaged into the box.
Yep.
Go crazy. This is their big swing for the fences. This is the bottom of the ninth, bases loaded. Three balls, 2 strikes. You're swinging for the fences to win for your team. This is what Microsoft has in front of them. The goodwill, something as simple as Lucky's Tale, which is only a $30 title, by the way, which I bought already. But it would have been so nice if they would have been like, you know what, we're gonna go back to the days where when you bought a system, you had a game to play it on. And here it is. Lucky sale for free for anyone that buys an Xbox One X in the first 90 days or whatever. That would have been amazing.
Yeah. And, boom, speaking on a downward spiral of these things that just tick up my nerves a little bit. I'm a little disappointed with Games with Gold as well. What do you guys think?
Terrible. Terrible. Except Tales for Borderlands. That was a very good game.
Yeah, that's actually a good title. I know that what's the racer called? Oh my god, the racer I don't have, so that's great. I have Tales of the Borderland. The other two, for the 360, one of them I've never heard of. I know Rand did a video today I watched. I don't know. I mean, let me just throw this out to the panel. I mean, maybe I'm a lunatic, and I'm wondering if I am, please tell me. Considering that you just launched the OG Xbox, opportunity to play, would it not, I don't know, maybe helped the program a bit if you added one of those games instead of a no-name 360 game? Like, hey, here's KOTOR, here's Black. You know what? Here's Fusion Frenzy, which, by the way, is a fantastic freaking multiplayer game. Here's Fusion Frenzy. Go crazy, people.
Well, it should have been like an added bonus, like have 5.
Yeah. You want to throw a fifth one? I'm just trying to save Microsoft a few pennies and just add it as, instead of 2 360 titles that no one cares about, add take one of them out, like that no name. There's a game on there that's I don't even know what the name of it is. Take that out and put in Fusion Frenzy, Black, Ninja Gaiden Black, something. Prince of Persia, Dead to Rights. It didn't even have to be any of the big ones. It still would have been like, hey, thank you.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think, I just feel like they're kind of slacking on these titles. And I feel like it's going in a downward spiral right now. Hopefully it changes in the next few months. But, man, like, Tales from the Borderland, yeah, it was a great game, but you can pick that thing up for, like, less than $5 on clearance now. And I don't know. Like, a $10 game would have been better. Like an OG Xbox $10 game would have been nice to throw in there to promote the program, like you guys said.
Sure.
And, I think, who was it in the chat? Anthony Boyd brought up in the chat that he kind of blames the Xbox Game Pass for...
Yes, that's a fantastic point. I was actually just going to say that. Yep.
He kind of feels that, it's the degradation of the GWG program, and that Microsoft's looking more to market that, I guess, in a sense, than Games with Gold. What do you guys think?
Oh, absolutely. They're going to stop putting the better games in Games with Gold, and they're just going to move everything into the Game Pass. I mean, that's the smart way to do it, to get everyone to start subscribing to Game Pass.
Yep. That's a good point, Taylor. I think she's 100% right with that.
So, Games with Gold is going to be irrelevant within the next few months, I'm going to go ahead and say. They'll throw in one kind of good game, and then everything else is going to be stuff that we've never heard of.
Yep.
Do you think this is something that Sony would use to put the foot in Microsoft's mouth and say, hey, look, here on the PS Plus games, we got better titles? Do you think...
I'm actually
Absolutely.
looking... I really want... Yeah, I agree with you 100%, because, I mean, look at I'll put it this way. Last month's games for Gold were horrendous. And that's because I don't want to curse on the air, okay?
Like
Sony, they had their 6 games, their 2 PS4 games, 2 PS3 games, and of course the other 2 that were for the Vita were cross-play, so you could play it on either one. They could have launched with just one game, and it would have been enough, and that was Metal Gear Solid 5. Hello. Are you kidding me? Like, they won just because it was Metal Gear Solid 5, which is you could put 100 hours into that game.
Yep.
On top of that, they had Amnesia, didn't they?
Yes, they're both of
Yes.
them. Yes, which again, day one just on MGS5, but then you add Amnesia to it and the other time. Come on, it's I hate to say this, and I know everyone's like, oh, but but boom, they're free, and you don't really have to download them if you don't want them. And you know what? When you're getting second-rate stuff, like this is the thing. Say what you want about Sony. When they do things, it's calculated like an assassin. When Microsoft does things recently, it seems like an afterthought. Hey, listen, the guy to go get the guy that go gets all the lattes, let that guy pick the 4 games. Have you ever played games before? No, this is the first time I'm interning, sir. I don't know anything about games. All right, you know what? Here, pick 4 games, because that's what it seems like.
Yep.
Yeah, it feels
Just
like
throwing
that.
darts at a wall.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Or at a barn.
And you know what? Boom! I didn't even think about this, and you brought this up as well. That PS Plus gives you Vita games, right? They give you PS4,
yes,
they give you PS3, and they give you Vita. So this is an opportunity right now for Xbox to give you an OG back compat game. To say, hey, we give you Xbox One, Xbox 360, and an OG Xbox. This is their opportunity to take the foot out of their mouth and do something really cool.
You know what I would like to see? Because I know that there's a lot of people that, again, they're like, oh, OG Xbox, big deal, whatever. Obviously, they brought it back for the fans because Microsoft does do things for the fans. I will give them plenty of credit. They didn't have to do backwards compatibility with the 360. They did it. They didn't have to go out of their way to do OG Xbox, and they did it. So they are doing the things for the fans. But let's call a spade a spade. They know. I mean, listen, the games the first 13 games that they can put out there whatever press release they want. Well, it's so hard to get some of the licenses, and some companies don't exist anymore. They are making money hand over fist with I mean, there's guys like me, like I have all these titles in storage. I just don't feel like going all the way to storage to unpack these games to put them in. So what do? I buy Black, KOTOR, Ninja Gaiden Black, which, by the way, if you have Game Pass, is free, by the way. So if you have Game Pass, Ninja Gaiden's up there, so you can download that for free. And I bought Crimson Sky. I mean, so there would have been $40. There are plenty of people like me who went out there and bought these games digitally. They're making money. I mean, yes, they did it for the fans, but they also did it for a profit. And these games are 15 years old, and they are. I mean, they're probably selling like hotcakes.
Yeah, I mean, $10 a pop is not that expensive. And
no, you would probably the average game, even though a lot of us don't have a lot of money, see a $10 bunch of times like, oh my god, I never played that one. Oh, I buy this one. Oh, I got to get Black now. Oh, I got to get Crimson Sky. And before you know it, you spent $50.
Yeah, it's very easy. Very easy to do. And not only that, but like you said, it's you get it digitally, right? You don't have to walk to storage. You don't have to get it out of your closet. You don't have to get up, and it's just convenient. $10 digitally, it's convenient.
And it's yours for life.
That's right. Across all of them. And as we're getting closer to the 9 o'clock mark, Assassin brought this to my attention.
Uh-oh.
Oh, weird news of the week.
Weird news of the week, guys. This is very strange. I don't know
if something can top this now.
I don't think so. Assassin, you want to go ahead and leave the pressure in the room and tell us what this anticipated moment is?
Yeah, so Michael Bay, the person who made, like the Transformers movies or other movies that have a bunch of explosions, is making Dora the Explorer movie.
That is 2 words I never thought I'd see together. Michael Bay and Dora.
Yep.
I'm seeing this because I need to know how this works.
Well, supposedly, if I read this right, that Dora's gonna be like a teenager. She's gonna be living with her cousin, and then they're
Does
going to
that
go
mean there's
on.
gonna be animals?
I don't know, and then they're going to go on adventures. Like,
Oh, boy,
Baby
this
said
is-
a lot. That's why I know that.
Question, Assassin: is this going to be a live action or a cartoon movie?
I think it's going to be live action.
I'm seeing this. I need to see it.
I am assuming. I mean, it could be a cartoon, but
No, I don't.
I
How
don't
is
see
Michael-
Michael
I
Bay.
don't know. Would Michael
Bay
Bay?
would not direct a cartoon.
Yeah, I agree with Taylor on that one. I think this is going to be live action, and it's going to be like Tomb Raider with Dora.
I need to see it. I need to see this happen.
Man, imagine Dora the Explorer as like a Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
That's what I think is going to wind up happening. We're going to show you Dora in a way you've never seen her.
But is she gonna stop and is she gonna talk to the camera?
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, break
I really
break
hope
the,
so.
the
We better
fourth
get
wall.
You
Yeah,
think
we better
there's
get the
gonna-
map to sing.
Is there going to be any explosions, like a Swiper the Fox going to come out with like a Tommy gun or a machine gun or something?
If she doesn't have a boots, I'm going to be pissed. I'm telling you that right now.
He's probably gonna die or something.
Oh,
And
that would be traumatizing.
And her pink backpack, right? You know,
Oh,
going on the
good
adventure.
grief.
She got to
That
have
would
that
look
pink.
really weird.
No,
Is
I think the
Diego going to
backpack's
be in it?
purple.
That's really what I want to know.
Yeah,
Diego. That's her
her
cousin.
cousin.
Yeah.
She's living with
'Cause
them.
maybe he gets killed and she goes after
Oh.
a bloodthirsty revenge plot.
Oh
As long
man,
as like the animals from Diego show are in it, I'm down.
This is very strange, I gotta say.
That's really weird. I don't know why it's happening.
you know, I got to say, out of all the weird news of the week, this is the weirdest news I've ever heard, Assassin.
Yeah, I
And
have to agree.
If this movie
Yeah.
comes to fruition and
I
it,
hope it does.
comes to the theaters, I don't know
We're
how
all
I'm going
going to
to
the
feel.
midnight release of it. We have to.
Yeah,
Are they going to have sing-alongs, you think, in the movies? Like, at the beginning of the movie?
I don't see Michael Bay doing something like that.
Dora the Devastator.
Lord Kabatsu says that College Humor did a parody trailer for a action Dora a long time ago.
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
Oh man, I got to go back now and look that up. Boom, I got to see what that was. I wonder if this is where Michael Bay got his idea. Maybe
it wouldn't surprise me.
maybe his career is going a little bit downhill because Transformers is not always great with the critics, and
Yeah,
He's looking for
look at
work.
those TMNT movies. They're quite awful.
yeah, they were bad too.
so he goes to Nickelodeon and says, "Hey, can I make a Dora movie?" Sure.
Or can I make a movie?
Yeah, can I
It's
make?
like, you get a Dora. Figure something out.
Yeah, we need to jumpstart the franchise again. So why not?
Dora the Demon Slayer is
Oh.
what Stick Figure said.
I would go see that. I'm going to be honest.
Oh man, you guys are cracking me up. I got tears rolling from my eyes right now. All this Dora talk. I can just picture now like DLC costumes in Tomb Raider, right? As Dora.
Oh my god.
Pink
That'd be awesome.
backpack. Walking around with a pink backpack on.
It's purple. I looked it up. It's purple. She has
Oh,
a
it's
pink-
purple. Stick your like hunting bow in there. You know, you're ready for a hunt.
Unreal.
Oh man. Well, without further ado, we're almost hitting that 9 o'clock mark, folks, and really appreciate Boom coming out and being on the show and being a guest tonight. Really glad to have him on here with us. We love him. You can always check him out. And Boom, tell us where we can check you out.
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me on. It was an honor. It was nice to meet Taylor. Nice to meet. I know you've mentioned Assassin a couple of times. It's nice to have spoken to him. I'm like I said, I'm real honored to have been on the podcast. And you can find me at a few places. On Twitter, it's at Mr. Boomstick XL. You can find me also on Coffee, Casuals, and Consoles on Wednesdays at 10:30 in the morning. And you can also find me on Crossfire Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Awesome. And, guys in the chat, if you've never heard from Boom before, hope you check him out. He's a really cool guy. Has a lot of great stuff to say. Always very knowledgeable.
Oh, thanks, dude. Appreciate that.
Even on Crossfire, man, sometimes I just listen to you because you got a lot of good things to say.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, this is this is a passion project. Like I said, I'm currently retired. I had a career prior to this that was non-gaming, and now in my retired state, I have an opportunity to have a lot of time to play games. But it's really enjoyable to speak about them, and I'm glad I have the forum to do that.
Absolutely, man. And with that, folks, I'm going to say goodnight. Have a happy Halloween. Next week, we'll hopefully, do a little bit of Halloween costume when Inferno gets back with his Angry Birds, because we just couldn't do it without Angry Birds, man. Assassin, you got anything to say to the people in the chat, the internet?
Bye. Thanks for joining us.
Telly?
Bye, guys. I'm tired.
And with that, everybody send Taylor
Good
bacon
night.
flavored soda and for Mega
Stop
Star
it.
2. All right, guys. Good night from 4GwQ and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween.